Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I will present to you a topic that is very dear to my heart, and that topic is spicy foods. Now I'd like to start off with an informal survey that we'll conduct by the raising of the hands. So how many of you here love spicy foods? We're talking the more the better. Yes. These are my people. Now, let me not bias my own survey, pretend I'm neutral. How many of you here consider yourselves to be somewhere in the middle? Spice is good, but not too much. Okay, fair enough. And how many of you here think that ketchup is a hot sauce? Okay, very good. Now, regardless of how you feel towards spicy foods, I hope that during the few minutes that we have together tonight, that each of us can learn more about three things. Namely, what makes some foods spicy? Why are some foods more spicy than others? And lastly, how does the body interact or respond to spicy foods? Now, whenever we discuss spicy foods, we have to start with the Scoville scale. Now, Herbert Scoville was a chemist and pharmacist who developed a method of measuring the spiciness or piquancy of peppers, and then he would arrange them numerically on his scale, from least spicy to hottest. The method was fairly simple. It was a method of dilution. He would take various peppers and extract the chemical known as capsaicin, or the chemical that gives peppers their heat. He would then take that extraction and mix it with a sugar solution, bit by bit, diluting it more and more, until the capsaicin, or heat, could no longer be detected by a panel of 5 judges. Now, I'm sure some of you science majors are saying that's not a very effective or objective method. But since this time, it's been perfected, and now it's chemically analyzed, but it's still expressed in Scoville units. Starting with the bell pepper, we have 0 capsaicin, therefore 0 dilution is required. Pure capsaicin must be diluted 16 million times until it can no longer be detected by the human tongue and mouth. Jalapenos and Tabasco sauce, a fairly common food, a favorite by some, has a Scoville ranking of 2.5 thousand to 5,000. Whereas habaneros have a Scoville ranking of 200,000 to 300,000. Now, I'm sure there's some habanero fan here, and the habanero was once believed to be the spiciest pepper on the earth until it was dethroned by the boot jolokia, an Indian pepper also known as the naga jolokia, or here in America as the ghost pepper. And it ranks in at 1 million on the Scoville scale. For honorable mention, I've included pepper spray, not a common hot sauce, but the active ingredient is capsaicin, the very chemical you'll find in peppers, and it ranks in at 5 million, which means if you were to introduce it into your food, it would have to be diluted 5 million times before it was no longer recognizable by the mouth, tongue, or other mucosal glands. So much for the Scoville scale. I promise that the third piece of information that we discuss is how hot sauces interact with the body. Now, what better way to inform than to demonstrate? And I hold in my hands Mad Dog 357, which is believed to be the hottest hot sauce in the world, with a Scoville ranking of 750,000. Many of you say if it has 750,000, how could it be the hottest when the ghost pepper ranks in at 1 million? Very simply, hot sauces are diluted when you introduce vinegar, distilled cane juice, or other complementary spices. Now, Brother Allred, our MC and our professor, promised me that there were some students from his Thursday class who were brave enough and who would be willing to try this sauce. Now, are there any takers? I'm looking for 2, maybe 3 brave volunteers. I see one here. Come on down. I see one at the top. Feel free, come on down. Do we have a third volunteer? Please, absolutely. Thank you. Now come on down, step here in the light. Now we'll make this demonstration go as quickly as possible, but as they introduce the Mad Dog into their mouth, I will report the physiological responses their body is going through. And we'll even let them talk about how they feel. So I'll give each of them a toothpick, and I'll allow them to dip that toothpick into the sauce. Now I'll tell you, as deep as you want to go, it's your choice. But when you buy it in the store, actually in Park City, believe it or not, the lady typically dips it about 1/2 inch. So if you're feeling brave, go more. If not, stick with 1/2 inch. And a third. All right, before we get started, let's give them a round of applause. Let's get them excited. Now, what is your name?
Will.
Will, where are you from?
Louisiana.
Will from Louisiana. How far do you want to dip your hot sauce steak?
I'll do 3/4.
Now, just by way of disclaimer, I did bring some friends here, 3 friends here who have chocolate milk and juices prepared for afterwards. But go ahead and don't dip until we're all ready to go here. Wow. Okay.
Oh my
No, but I heard his voice. Jay, you tricks.
That's perfect. All right, now when you're ready, feel free to introduce that into your mouth. We'll give it a few seconds to bind to the tongues and cheek. Now, can you explain to us how you're feeling at the moment?
You can only taste it yet.
Very resilient to spice, and how are you? Good. Now, typically when you introduce large amounts of capsaicin into your body, you're going to experience increased perspiration, increased respiration, reddening of the face, a general burning of the mouth and tongue, increased salivation, and overall pain. Any responses that we need to know of right now?
Throat.
It's the throat.
Burning.
It's burning.
That's so bad.
Excellent. Let's give them a round of applause. So ladies and gentlemen, regardless of how you feel towards spices, I hope next time you encounter a pepper, a sauce, or a food that is known to be spicy, I hope you do so with a little more education, courage, and strength. Thank you.